All right, let's dive in. We're looking at Southern California as 2025 is wrapping up. And amidst all the holiday cheer, there's a much tougher story playing out. Today, we're going to explore the incredible ways communities are stepping up to tackle some really deep challenges, moving beyond just surviving to actually build a stronger future. It really makes you wonder, right? What is that secret sauce, that glue, that truly holds a community together? Is it something as simple as sharing a meal? Or is it something way bigger, like fighting for major systemic change? Well, what we're about to see is that the answer is a powerful mix of both. And how those two things connect, that's where the real story is. Okay, so first up, let's get right down to the ground level. We're talking about the most direct, hands-on kinds of help. Making sure people have food on the table, and even sparking a little bit of that holiday magic when things are really tough. So let's head over to Bakersfield in Kern County. The local nonprofits there, they're seeing something pretty alarming. That spike in families needing food help that used to happen just around the holidays? Yeah, well, that's not just a spike anymore. It's their new normal. It's happening all year round. And it's all being driven by things like inflation and job insecurity that are just pushing more and more families right to the edge. But this is where you really see the community's strength kick in. It's not just one group doing all the work, it's a whole network. You've got Golden Empire Gleaners partnering up with the local casino. How cool is that? Then there's the Community Action Partnership of Kern, or CAPK, taking a massive $100,000 donation and immediately turning it into meals for hundreds. And Catholic Charities, they launched their first ever turkey drive. This is what it looks like when people really come together. And if you want to see just how big that surge in need is, get this. Catholic Charities alone gave turkeys and food bags to over 1,000 families, and that's way up from 700 just last year. Wow, that one number tells you everything you need to know, right? The need is getting bigger, but so is the community's heart. And community support isn't always about what you can count, it's also about what you can feel. It's about creating moments of just pure joy. Over at the Baldwin Hills Crenshaw Mall, they had this amazing event with Santa for hundreds of families. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? The real impact, it's not always in the numbers. Sometimes it's in the priceless smiles and playful sounds of kids' laughter. You just can't put a price on that. Okay, so a hot meal, a moment of joy, absolutely crucial. No question. But it also brings up a bigger question, doesn't it? What about the systems that could prevent families from needing that emergency help in the first place? That's where we're going next, to look at the building blocks of long-term health and wellness. A huge piece of this puzzle in California is a program called Medi-Cal for kids and teens. Now, the idea behind it is pretty simple, but it's also kind of revolutionary. It's free, full-on health coverage for every single child under 19. And here's the part that is a total game changer. It doesn't matter what a family's immigration status is. It's a safety net for everyone. And when they say comprehensive, they really, really mean it. We're not just talking about a quick trip to the doctor. Look at this. It's everything. Dental checkups, new eyeglasses, mental health support, and even things you might not expect, like the new community supports that can help with healthy meals or navigating the housing system. It's a whole family, whole person approach to well-being. Of course, a system like this is only as good as its reach. It has to get to the people who need it most. That's why there's a big focus on connecting with Black families, who have historically faced higher rates of things like asthma while getting less of that crucial preventative care. So this is about more than just fairness. It's about actively closing these really dangerous health gaps with care that understands their community. Now, these big systems, they don't just magically appear out of thin air. Real people have to build them, defend them, and expand them. So let's pull the camera back a bit and meet two of the leaders who are right there on the front lines, fighting to keep these vital community lifelines strong. All right, so on one hand, you have Rhonda Smith. She's the executive director of the California Black Health Network, and her mission is all about achieving health equity by changing policy. On the other hand, there's Kashi Patterson, the founder of the Black Equity Collective. Her focus is on investing directly in the Black-led organizations that are the real backbone of the community. So you've got two different approaches, but they are aiming for the exact same goal. And Kasi Patterson's work, man, it uncovers this powerful truth. Supporting Black-led organizations is a major economic engine. Just look at these numbers from her group's report. For every dollar invested, the ripple effect is immense. The organizations they've backed have created over 4,000 jobs and pumped over $335 million into the economy through salaries. This is proof positive that investing in these communities is a win for the entire state. Meanwhile, Rhonda Smith is focused on building power from the ground up. Her organization has already trained over 60 new health equity advocates from all across California. And as she says right here, building that kind of network, amplifying those voices, that is how you get real, lasting change in the system.
So with all this incredible work, what's the biggest thing standing in their way? Their one-word answers for 2025 are so telling. For Rhonda Smith, the word is politics. Just that constant battle against legislative roadblocks. And for Kelsey Patterson, it's erasure. That systemic problem of Black communities being overlooked and made invisible when it comes to crucial funding and policy decisions.
Okay, so this is where it all comes together. We've seen the boots on the ground help, and we've seen the high-level fight for policy change. But how do they actually work together? Let's connect those dots.
All right, here's the most important takeaway from all of this. Step 1, recognize the link. That volunteer handing out turkeys in Bakersfield and that advocate fighting for policy in Sacramento are two sides of the same coin. Think about it. When advocates like Rhonda Smith successfully expand programs like Medi-Cal, they create healthier families. Healthier families have fewer medical bills and more stability, and that directly reduces the number of people who have to stand in that food bank line in the first place. One is the immediate response, the other is the long-term cure. You absolutely need both. And that leads to step 2, act with purpose. Leaders like Smith and Patterson are taking all the lessons from a tough year to find new opportunities and plan their strategies for 2026. And their goal for the year ahead? It's incredibly clear and direct. For Kelsey Patterson, it's about helping organizations survive to fight another day. For Rhonda Smith, it's about driving a major statewide policy win to protect the most vulnerable communities. It boils down to this: survive, fight, and win.
So this all leaves us with one final crucial question. The holiday season brings out this incredible generosity, right? We saw it in Bakersfield. But what happens when the festive lights get packed away and the news cycle moves on? Who's going to continue that year-long fight for a better, more equitable 2026? The answer, as we've discovered today, is the community itself in all its resilient and powerful forms. Thanks for watching.